My name is Zer Vang, and I'm the legal director of the Immigration Legal Services Program with Catholic Charities Archdiocese of Dubuque. Today, I'll be sharing some legal updates that pertain to Ukrainians. This video should be construed as legal information only and not legal advice. If you need further information, I would suggest that you contact an immigration legal service provider or an attorney to walk you through the specifics of any legal questions that you may have. As I mentioned, today's video is going to cover legal updates as it pertains to Ukrainian nationals who are fleeing or seeking to flee Ukraine due to the war. President Biden has announced that United States would do our part to help welcome Ukrainians into our country. And so today I'll be focusing on two legal pathways or options for Ukrainian nationals who are seeking safety in the United States. One of the legal options is called Temporary Protected Status. The acronym for that is TPS. And TPS is a legal option that the United States government can grant or designate to a country that is experiencing civil unrest, like a war, or environmental disasters, like a hurricane or earthquake. And it is temporary in that it would allow individuals or nationals of that country to remain in the United States temporarily, generally for 18 months. And it would grant them permission to work and live in the United States temporarily. And that status can be renewed if the United States government decides to redesignate that country if the conflict or disaster is ongoing. And so Ukraine was announced as a country that would be designated for TPS. For Ukrainian nationals, you would have to be physically present in the United States as of April 11th or before that in order to qualify to apply for temporary protected status. Again, if you have more questions about TPS for Ukraine or generally just legal questions about TPS, I encourage you to contact a qualified immigration attorney to answer your questions. Secondarily, the new program that was just recently announced by our government called Uniting for Ukraine. This is another attempt by our government to respond to our promise to help Ukrainians. What this program offers is a pathway called humanitarian parole for Ukrainian nationals who are abroad and seeking legal entry into the United States. And what humanitarian parole allows is to allow a U.S. citizen or a U.S. resident that has legal status to petition or sponsor someone in Ukraine or Ukrainian national abroad to allow them to legally enter the United States. Now, humanitarian parole is temporary in its nature, and it's generally temporary and valid for 2 years. Once the Ukrainian national is granted humanitarian parole and enters the United States, that individual is allowed permission to work in the United States and live here for 2 years until they need to either renew that or they may want to return back to their country of origin. And so through the humanitarian parole process, that is the second option that our country has offered to help provide safety and protection for Ukrainian nationals. There may be questions about who can qualify as a supporter or financial sponsor for Ukrainian nationals who are interested in applying through the humanitarian parole process. To clarify, Catholic Charities is not an agency, or are we in a position to provide a program that would match people who are interested as financial sponsors or supporters with Ukrainian nationals who would like to come to the United States. Individuals who do want to sponsor or be supporters of Ukrainian nationals would either have to be individuals that they know personally that are living in Ukraine, or family or friends of theirs that live in Ukraine that they'd like to sponsor or bring to the United States. But at this time, there is no such program available to match individuals in the United States as financial sponsors with people who are beneficiaries of humanitarian parole in Ukraine. Now, I want to caution that the information I share today is, again, legal information and should be not construed as legal advice. If you need or have more questions about legal options for Ukrainians or other special populations, I would encourage you to go to the United States government website called uscis.gov for more information, or certainly feel free to contact our agency, Catholic Charities. You can reach us by phone by calling area code 319-364-7121, or go to our Catholic Charities website at catholiccharities.dubuque.org.